Japan's political landscape experienced a seismic shift in the latest general election. The long-ruling Liberal Democratic Party, or LDP, suffered a major setback, losing its parliamentary majority for the first time in decades. This unexpected outcome has sent shockwaves through the country, raising questions about the future direction of Japanese politics. The results reflect a growing public dissatisfaction with the LDP's performance and a desire for change. The LDP's defeat marks a turning point in Japanese politics. The party has been a dominant force for decades, shaping Japan's post-war identity and policies. Their loss of a majority signals a potential shift in the political landscape and a need for the party to re-evaluate its strategies. The election was called by Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba in a calculated gamble. Ishiba, a veteran LDP politician, had recently assumed leadership of the party. He hoped to capitalize on his relatively clean image and reformist agenda to secure a strong mandate for his government. However, his strategy backfired, resulting in a significant loss of seats for the LDP and jeopardizing his own political future. Ishiba's decision to call a snap election was seen by many as an attempt to consolidate his power and silence internal opposition within the LDP. However, the electorate interpreted it as a sign of weakness and opportunism. The gamble ultimately backfired, exposing the deep divisions within the LDP and undermining public confidence in Ishiba's leadership. He now faces the daunting task of forming a government without a parliamentary majority, which will require him to seek alliances with other parties. The LDP has been the dominant force in Japanese politics since the end of World War II. Its rule has been characterized by stability and economic growth. However, the party has also been criticized for its close ties to big business and bureaucratic elites. This election result could mark the end of the LDP's uninterrupted reign and usher in a period of political realignment. The LDP's long-standing grip on power has been attributed to a number of factors, including its effective organization, strong financial backing, and ability to adapt to changing political circumstances. However, the party's grip on power has weakened in recent years due to demographic shifts, economic stagnation, and a growing sense of public dissatisfaction. The election results represent a significant challenge to the LDP's dominance. The party will need to re-evaluate its policies and strategies in order to remain relevant in a rapidly changing political landscape. Several key factors contributed to the LDP's electoral upset. The party has been plagued by a series of scandals in recent years. These scandals eroded public trust and fueled a perception of corruption within the LDP. Voters expressed frustration with the government's handling of the economy, with many feeling left behind despite years of economic growth. One of the most damaging scandals involved allegations of cronyism and favoritism in the allocation of government contracts. Several high-ranking LDP officials were implicated in the scandal, which tarnished the party's reputation and reinforced public perceptions of corruption. The LDP's economic policies also came under fire during the election campaign. The rising cost of living, stagnant wages, and growing income inequality led to widespread dissatisfaction with the LDP's economic stewardship. The LDP's loss is a significant opportunity for the opposition parties. However, the opposition remains fragmented. The Constitutional Democratic Party, the largest opposition party, has struggled to present a cohesive alternative to the LDP. Internal divisions and a lack of clear policy direction have hampered the CDP's efforts to capitalize on the LDP's weaknesses. The CDP has attempted to position itself as a viable alternative to the LDP by emphasizing its commitment to social justice, environmental protection, and a more equitable distribution of wealth. However, the party has struggled to articulate a clear and consistent message that resonates with voters. The other opposition parties, including the Japanese Communist Party and the Democratic Party for the People, have also sought to capitalize on the LDP's misfortunes. The fragmentation of the opposition presents a significant challenge to forming a stable and effective government. The election results have elicited a range of reactions from politicians and analysts alike. Prime Minister Ishiba acknowledged the voters' message and pledged to address their concerns. "We must listen to the voices of the people and work to regain their trust," he said in a somber address to the nation. Opposition leaders, emboldened by the results, called for a change in government and a new direction for the country. Yukio Edano, leader of the CDP, characterized the election as a victory for the Japanese people and a rejection of the LDP's politics of arrogance and privilege. He vowed to work with other opposition parties to form a new government that would prioritize the needs of ordinary citizens. The time has come for a change, he declared. Political analysts offered various interpretations of the election results. Some attributed the LDP's defeat to a general sense of fatigue with the party's long rule and a desire for new leadership. Others pointed to specific policy failures, such as the government's handling of the economy and its perceived insensitivity to the needs of ordinary citizens. The election results also reflect a deeper current of public discontent in Japan. Voter turnout was historically low, indicating a sense of apathy and disillusionment among many Japanese citizens. This apathy stems from a variety of factors, including a perceived lack of choice in elections, a feeling that politicians are out of touch with the concerns of ordinary people, and a general sense of pessimism about the future. The low voter turnout is a worrying sign for Japanese democracy. It suggests that a significant portion of the population feels disconnected from the political process and that their voices are not being heard. Several factors contribute to this sense of public disillusionment. The aging population and declining birth rate have created a sense of economic anxiety, particularly among younger generations who face a future of shrinking opportunities. Addressing this public discontent will be crucial for any government seeking to govern effectively. With no party securing a majority, the post-election period will be marked by intense negotiations as parties seek to form a coalition government. The LDP, despite its losses, remains the largest party in parliament. It is likely to attempt to form a coalition with smaller parties, such as the Komeito Party, with whom it has a history of cooperation. The Komeito Party's leverage in any coalition negotiations has increased following the LDP's losses. They may demand significant concessions from the LDP in exchange for their support, potentially influencing policy direction in areas such as social welfare, education, and defense. The LDP may also explore alliances with other smaller parties or even consider a grand coalition with the CDP. However, such a coalition would be fraught with challenges given the ideological differences between the two parties. The process of coalition building will be complex and challenging with the potential for both cooperation and conflict. The election results could signal a potential shift in Japan's policy direction. The LDP, if it manages to hold on to power, may be forced to adopt more progressive policies to appease a disgruntled electorate. This could involve increased social spending, a greater emphasis on income inequality, and a renewed focus on addressing the concerns of younger generations. The LDP's traditional emphasis on fiscal conservatism and pro-business policies may need to be recalibrated in light of the election results. The party may need to consider policies aimed at stimulating domestic demand, boosting wages, and providing greater support for social welfare programs to address public concerns about economic inequality and social mobility. Furthermore, the LDP may need to reevaluate its approach to social issues such as gender equality, LGBTQ+ rights, and immigration. The party's conservative stance on these issues has alienated some segments of the electorate, particularly younger voters. Adopting a more progressive approach on social issues could help the LDP regain lost ground and appeal to a broader base of voters. The recent election marks a watershed moment in Japanese politics. The LDP's loss of majority, a rare event in Japanese political history, signals a potential realignment of political forces and a period of uncertainty. It presents both challenges and opportunities for all parties involved. For the LDP, the election is a wake-up call. The party can no longer take its dominance for granted and must adapt to the changing political landscape. It needs to address the concerns that led to its electoral setback, reconnect with the electorate, and present a renewed vision for the future. The opposition parties face both an opportunity and a challenge. The opportunity lies in capitalizing on the LDP's vulnerability and offering a compelling alternative vision for the country. The recent election in Japan has ushered in a new era of political uncertainty. The LDP's loss of majority, a rare occurrence in Japan's post-war history, has created a fluid political landscape with the potential for significant shifts in policy direction. The coming weeks and months will be crucial as parties negotiate to form a new government and chart a course for the future. The LDP, despite its losses, remains a significant force in Japanese politics and will seek to maintain its grip on power. However, it will need to adapt to the new political realities, address public concerns, and present a compelling vision for the future to regain the trust of the electorate. The opposition parties, emboldened by the LDP's setback, will seek to capitalize on the opportunity to advance their agendas and potentially reshape the political landscape. The new government, regardless of its composition, will need to address these concerns, restore public trust, and provide a sense of hope and optimism for the future.